Hi! Welcome back to Between You and Me. I'm Stardoll Thurston, your host, and we're here breaking barriers and building connection. This is episode 2 of Between You and Me, and I'm very excited for my second ever guest. She is the icon of the century. She's a model. She's a writer. She's your new favorite it girl, and you see her everywhere. I was walking down the street in Waikiki the other day. I walked 2 blocks, and I counted her face 15 times. So she's an icon. She's a legend. None other than Kanoelehua Robinson.
Hey, Star.
Kanoe, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Star. Thank you for the beautiful introduction.
So a lot of people don't realize that you're actually a recording artist too.
Yeah. Actually, so I'm a 2-time Grammy
Yeah,
nominee.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't win the first time because I really wanted to give Beyonce a chance because I'm really all about uplifting women.
Absolutely.
Especially other women of color. And so
Yes.
I think that year, 14 years that she won, I let her have it. But I'm coming up. Yeah. I think this is my year.
No, and I think it's so amazing the way that you make space for other women because that's how we elevate. If one of us elevates, we all elevate.
Yeah, and I really am like a girl's girl. Like, I think I'm really humble.
Yeah.
And it's really important to like be humble in this industry. So,
Right, because you're a big time model.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
And we're back to widowy what we're talking about.
Widowy back, sorry.
That was really fabulous.
Thanks.
How are you? What are you up to?
I'm doing great. I'm fighting a sinus infection right now. Audience, my apologies if you hear me sounding nasally. But yeah, I'm doing great.
Okay, I'm so excited that we're here. When I found out I was having a podcast, you were one of the first people that I thought of. Yes, because I see you everywhere. You're all over Instagram. You're all over the airport. You realize that's my dream is to be in the airport on a picture.
Oh,
Hopefully not on like a most wanted photo.
I heard you said my dream is to be an airport. That's amazing. The Stardoll International Airport.
Wow, the things that have to accomplish to be an actual airport.
Yeah. Just have a podcast. We're already one step closer.
We're one step closer. Yes, fabulous. Okay, you were in New York this week?
I was in New York like 2 days ago.
Was that to be a model or to be?
No, it was just a layover.
Okay.
To the audience, I am a flight attendant.
Ooh.
I got called last minute. Actually, no, I knew the day before, but regardless, yes, it was a 10-hour flight going, and then it was like a 10.5-hour flight coming back. So I've been on the plane for 20 hours.
That's so many hours.
It is many.
Okay, so how long have you been a flight attendant?
I've been a flight attendant for 2 years. So I make 3 years in February.
Ooh.
Yeah, they call me like I'm really, really senior in the company.
No, for sure.
No, I'm just kidding. I want everyone to know that I'm just kidding. And if anyone from work hears that and clips this, then I don't know.
Canceled.
Yeah, I'm canceled, I think. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Star.
That's would-we gonna be a problem.
Well, see.
Okay, Hawaiian merger.
Oh, yeah.
How's that been?
You know, on a more serious note, I think it's really sad that after 95 years, Hawaiian couldn't stand on its own. And I think just like the legacy of Hawaii, it sucks to know that a lot of our things aren't owned by us anymore, you know? But I'm an optimistic person, and I'm really honestly looking forward to seeing what happens, even though there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of anxiety around it because we're not sure how that's going to look like. And while Alaska says they're really determined on keeping it, keeping the brand, I really hope that's true. I don't see them like getting rid of it.
Because Alaska has their own brand.
Yeah.
Like that guy on their wing.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping like they know the value of Hawaiian and how special it is to the people, because everyone in Hawaii has an auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, sister that works in Hawaiian in one way or another. And I think the thing I love the most about Hawaiian is that you see generations like literally working in the same company. Like there are flight attendants whose auntie, uncle, grandma, mother, father like work all together, and it's really cute. And my grandma actually was a flight attendant in the 50s. Yeah, she was a knit girl.
Oh my gosh. And now you're an it girl.
No, I'm not.
You're literally the face of Hawaiian Airlines. You are Pualani.
I wish. Nah, I don't know. I'm just shy. I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
If I saw you on my flight, I'd be like, who's this gorgeous model? Wait, I saw her in the airport on that big poster.
No, not anymore. That was RIP to the Lahaina people, Front Street. That was for the outlets of Maui. And that was actually a really cool experience to like be at work and see my picture like that big. Because
did anybody else notice around you? Like, is that you?
I think not ever when I was really there, because I would only ever see it if I had a Maui layover and we are going through security. But a lot of times when you're in Maui, you're not really looking down on it because it's kind of in the TSA area.
Yeah.
But like friends would send it to me.
No, the first time I ever went to Maui was like a year ago, 2 years ago. And you're going down the escalator to the baggage claim, and it's just your face. And I went,
That's so insane.
My gosh.
I didn't actually know it was there for a while. I think a friend sent it to me, or maybe my agent, and they were like, oh yeah, that's you in the TSA. So when I had a layover, I was really excited. I made my coworkers take a picture of me on the escalator. I was like, guys, that's me.
Oh my gosh, so good. So, and you've been modeling for a long time, since you were 15. That's almost 10 years, right?
Wow, you did your research or
I
something?
researched you a little bit.
Crazy.
I kind of researched you on the Google.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's been almost 10 years.
Did you always want to do that?
No, you know, it's funny. Like, I was really, really, I'm still shy, but I think I've come out of my shell a lot. But like growing up, I was the most timid little girl, and I was really unsure of myself, and I was really insecure because I was always very like skinny and scrawny. But then when I became a sophomore in high school, I literally shot up. Like, I think 8th grade, I was 5'4" maybe. Freshman year, or like over that summer, I was 5'6". Ending of freshman year, I was 5'8", and then sophomore year, I was 5'10". So I like got really tall, and that's when the attention from me being skinny went to more like, oh, she's tall. So my mom was like, why don't you just do it? Because my classmates were doing it. And then that just one thing led to another. When Honolulu Fashion Week was happening, do you remember that? It was really fun. Maybe your mom was like one of the makeup artists during that time, but there was this big event that would happen at the convention center. And I think it only happened for 3 years before it ended. But these designers, like worldwide designers, would come to Hawaii, and we would have to cast for it. And that's when I was scouted by Roman Young, and I was signed to Wilhelmina, LA, and New York when I was 16. So that was really cool. Never did anything with those contracts because I didn't want to drop out of school and I didn't want to move. And I think I've always put modeling in the back burner of my mind. But now that I'm getting older and I'm more sure of myself, I'm like, oh, if it's something I could be good at, I might as well try it out, you know? Or like pursue it and be serious about it.
So things have really pivoted for you from being like this small time thing to, okay, I'm a model.
Yeah, I think I used to deny it a lot. Like I used to be more, I don't think afraid is a word, but more like embarrassed, I guess. Because I think people have their own perception of a model. Like, oh, she doesn't eat, or she's stuck up, or I don't know. I think I was so worried about people thinking I was something I wasn't, that I denied it altogether. And then it made me actually more insecure as a person, I would say. Because then I'm not like being truthful about like what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah. I get that. Like the more that you're in the spotlight, the more insecure you can get.
Yeah. Because then I'm worrying so much about what other people are thinking of me. I'm like, why am I putting so much pressure on myself? And if they think that way of me, then that's not an opinion worth investing my time in, because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And that's on period.
Period. So it's such an industry that's so focused on appearance. Like, how do you stay true to who you are? Like, do you ever feel like your identity gets lost in the mix?
Not necessarily. I think sometimes like I definitely have imposter syndrome when it comes to it. And I think in all honesty, in the last year or so, I've been working a lot with younger models, and it's making me kind of freak out. Like, oh my God, I'm aging out. Like, me, I'm 24. But I'm still like, what if my time is up and I haven't even done anything? Or, I don't know, like, what if I'm not what the market wants? Or like, even designers I would still like to work with aren't working with me, and I'm thinking, well, I suck as a model then. I don't know if that answered your question by
Absolutely.
any means.
No.
Okay.
Our like internal dialogue, I think, is so crazy. Like, people have such big assumptions when you're doing big things, but the reality is that you're just kind of like everybody else, feeling insecure when certain things happen.
Yeah, I've learned in the last year or so to just stop putting so much pressure on, I guess, pleasing other people or like fulfilling some kind of perception of what I want people to think of me, and just be me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like really, really goofy, and I'm also really awkward, and I'm also kind of a crackhead. So
we are crackheads together.
yeah, like if you can't handle me at my crackhead, you don't deserve me at my demure.
Slayerella. Yeah.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Exactly. Were you always kind of like a lot in school, like when you were younger?
Probably, yeah. I remember like getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I like, honestly just like blacked out. Like, I don't even know what was going on back then.
Period.
No, I would say like in elementary I would get in trouble a lot because I was always
For what?
just like laughing or like making my friends laugh. I remember one time I went to Hawaiian immersion school, and in 5th grade, I was showing my friends, let me show the camera. I was like, look at what I can do. And I'm like putting my thumb to my wrist, right? For all the non-viewers.
Ow.
And I was like laughing and showing them that I could do this. And my kumu was like, oh, you think that's so funny? Why don't you come up here and stand and show everyone? So I had to stand for the rest of the class like this, holding back tears because I was so embarrassed, and I was like this. It was yeah, that's just one of many things that I would get in trouble for.
So like class clown vibes.
Yeah, I probably was just the undiagnosed ADHD that just jumped out.
You are my spirit animal. Oh my gosh. In school, I used to get on every report card, it was like, if Star was just a little less social and focused a little more on school, she'd be doing great.
Yeah.
Timeout is what was given to me.
So basically, they didn't accept who you were.
They didn't get it.
No, they didn't.
And when I was in school, I felt like I was always extra. Everyone was like, oh my God, Star, so extra, so extra. But now as adults, people are like, wow, you're so fun and cool. Well, no one's really calling me cool, but it's kind of funny.
Cool.
Oh, I think you're cool.
Wayne's job. Stop flirting with me. Stop flirting me right now.
Am I rizzed up? Am I rizzing you up right now?
Yeah, you're the Riz master. What the Sigma?
Oh my gosh, 10,000 plus aura. The young kids have been teaching me how to talk.
No, I've been browsing brain rot TikTok these days.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's just like when your brain just disintegrates into the abyss. I've been really enjoying that these days. Yeah, I'm just.
Is that how you unwind from your busy life?
Literally, it's it's a hobby. I don't care what anyone says. The first thing I want to do when I go home after a long day of work is just rot in my bed. And I just scroll on TikTok for hours. And I know people are going to hear that and be like, wow, she's doing nothing with her life. That's a terrible waste of time. I think it's a little bit like, if I'm still enjoying my life, why should it matter if I'm like not in nature or like going on hikes or swimming in the ocean? Like, I'm still having a great time. And that's what matters, right? Is like living life the way you want it to.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a long tangent. What was the question?
No question.
Okay.
I think about maybe 6 months ago, my pastor told me, you know, how you're resting is really important. Are you vegging or are you resting?
Oh.
Because active resting is different. And I'm just like you. I'll veg Arella on the couch, TikTok, hours go by, and I'm like, ugh. But you're not actually resting. And so I've been trying to do like active rest. I think I'm still figuring out what that means. Because sometimes you want to just watch TV and absorb content. But he also said, what did he say? We're all influenced, right? But what are you being influenced by? And like, what is louder, right? How much more time am I spending either with Jesus, in like books, in nature versus my phone? Because for like a little bit, it's fine. But then after months, I'm like, wait, I'm talking in Sigma Alpha.
You're literally the Riz Master Sigma Alpha.
Yes, Rizarella.
I think for me, because my life feels very busy and chaotic, I guess for context, I am a Capricorn sun.
What does that mean?
So Capricorns are like known to be very like, I guess the stereotypical Capricorn is very hardworking, very busy. I think people assume that Capricorns are just like on the go constantly. For me, when I think of it, I'm like, I don't necessarily feel like that all the time, but then I'll like be in it. Like I'll be working and then on my days off, I'll be modeling. And then I'm like, oh, wait, actually, I'm doing a lot and I'm exhausted. And I would say that's my rest is my veggie tail time because
VeggieTale, I like that.
yeah, I just need to really like be alone in my room with my, I don't know, computer or something. Just kind of like unwinding, just letting my brain rest. I think that's how I classify rest these days because, I don't know. I think living on this island too, because I'm from Hilo, is such a environment shift because just even being in nature is loud on this island. I feel like that I always hear cars or just always hearing things, whereas Hilo's very quiet and peaceful. I think I'm still trying to find a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being from Hilo, when did you move to Oahu?
I moved 2 years ago. I moved in January 2022 because I got hired at Hawaiian. And I could commute, like maybe, but it's really, really difficult at my seniority because I'm a reserve flight attendant, which means they basically, someone calls out and I get filled in to take someone's spot on a plane.
Does that mean you don't have a minimum days you have to work?
I do. I actually have, so how reserve works is you have 12 days off in a month that you bid for on the 10th of the month prior. So I just know I'll have 12 days off and then any day outside of that is my work days, my on-call days. So there are some days I don't get called and it's like an off day, which is nice, but at my seniority, I'm getting called pretty much every day. So
they be calling me, hitting my line.
They're obsessed with me. So
am I. That's crazy because I have 12 days off for the entire year.
What?
That's how PTO works. I work for like a corporate thing. And that's people get like 14 days of PTO. You can't get, I thought PTO was like, you can have a bunch of days off, right? But then PTO, you get paid for them. But PTO is like, that's the only time you're allowed to not work.
That's insane.
You have to use PTO hours.
But you're off on like weekends, right?
Yeah, weekends. And I just went down to 4 days. I can, instead of 5 days.
Oh, say that's nice. 3-day weekends.
I know, period. Well, no, it's in the middle of the week.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your weekend.
That's my weekend. It'll be like 2-day work days and then a little break, Arella.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, it's tough because all of my friends work like normal corporate jobs. And so I've gotten really close with my flight attendant friends because we have an understanding of each other's schedules and I don't have weekends off. Sometimes it's like I don't even have holidays off sometimes. But you really lean in onto the people who understand it. So,
and you spend days together.
Yeah.
And you experience
it's like
new
camp.
things.
It really is because you're like meeting these people on a flight, first time, most of the time. Then you're in a different country or a different city and you all are staying on the same hotel. It's like, it's really fun. Honestly.
Did you always want to do that? Like be a flight attendant?
No, in all honesty, like I never really took it seriously, which I want to preface this by saying I love being a flight attendant. I am extremely blessed. And I don't see myself ever leaving this job if I have the choice. But I didn't know what a flight attendant did because I only had someone who was a flight. Excuse me, let me just reel it back
Just
in.
rewind it a little
Let me
bit.
just rewind while I gather my thoughts. My sister-in-law is a flight attendant, and
Okay.
she came into our lives in 2013, I think. So that's when I discovered the life of a flight attendant. Like, oh, that's really cool. She's in Korea this weekend, or she's getting her laser done in Sydney.
안녕하세요.
Yeah, she.
감사합니다.
사랑해.
감사합니다.
Wow.
사랑해. 배고파요.
Oh my god.
I love Korean drama.
I love K-pop.
Okay, that's basically like A
The
and B,
same
apple
thing.
banana. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
You
Flight attendant?
didn't want to ever get fired from
Oh.
Hawaiian Airlines.
Yeah,
Oh, how long you wanted to be her?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool that she had all this flexibility, and
Mm-hmm.
she had skincare appointments in Korea and laser appointments in Sydney.
Yeah, you're like, what?
I'm like, is this real life? And then the pandemic happened and I moved home. I always thought I was gonna live in California.
Is that where you were living before?
I was going to school out there, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I went to Azusa Pacific University. There's like a handful of people.
To study public relations.
I did. Where did you get this? I'm so confused. Meanwhile, I'm like sharing everything online.
I know you have a whole website
I do.
that you personally blog and share every piece of
I'm like,
information.
How do you know this? Meanwhile, I'm literally writing it out.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought I was always going to be in California, because I felt at the time I didn't want to be constrained by Hawaii, if that makes sense. I think a lot of the times,
Feels small.
yeah, and even smaller when you're from Hilo. Honestly, as a kid, I felt like I had a lot of anxiety just because Hilo was so small and you couldn't go anywhere without knowing someone or seeing someone. And so it made me a lot more like insecure and shy about what I was doing, and I guess hyper aware of what I was doing. But anyway, back to being a flight attendant. Yeah, so when I moved home for the pandemic, I finished school on Zoom University. So sad.
A Zoom graduate. I was a Zoom graduate too.
Yeah, really?
When did you graduate?
2020.
Me too.
Yeah. Awesome. We're the same. Yeah, but they opened flight attendant applications, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it and see what happens. And I got the job, and yep, the rest is history.
Wow.
I'm very happy at Hawaiian.
Was that before or after you ran for Miss Hawaii Island?
This was kind of around the same time. I think I won Miss Hawaii Island. This was like April 2021. I got hired at Hawaiian December 2021.
See, because I'm sure you would have landed that Hawaiian job like no pageant.
I don't know.
But they love a pageant
They
girl.
do, and I think it really helped me a lot. And I will say, like, going into the pageant conversation, I never saw myself being a pageant girl. Honestly, like, I was very judgmental of pageants. I was judgmental.
So was I.
Yeah, like, I always thought, like, oh my gosh, a beauty pageant, like, be so for real. I didn't think it was, like, progressive. I was just but I mean, in saying that is like very hypocritical, because who am I to judge what a woman does and how she uses a platform to uplift others? Like, if that's her way of doing it, why am I being such a negative person? Like, that's not me being a good ally to women. Anyway.
Well, it's all exposure, right? Like the things that we're not exposed to or experience, we don't have a good understanding of. And we oftentimes, I think, fear things that we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a thing of like fearing the oppression that we thought pageants was putting onto women.
Yeah. And I think because I wasn't necessarily, at least the way I saw myself in high school, I didn't think I was cool, and I didn't think boys liked me. I didn't think I was like popular. I think I was like, just in my head a lot. So I think I always was jealous that these girls could do it, because I was like, I could never put myself on that stage because I'm not equipped for it. But I was convinced in 2021, I don't know, at the time I was working out and I was approached with the idea and I was like, yeah, I might as well do it. I think it's great for connections and I think it's a great opportunity to just have a platform because I'm passionate about so many things. But yeah, I ended up winning, which was super cool. And I was supposed to run for Miss Hawaii USA in April or March.
Because did you ever?
No, so training for Hawaiian started January 2022 and the pageant was March, I think, 2022.
Oh, and you couldn't do both.
Yeah. Or I think it was February actually. Yeah. So I don't know if you know anything about Hawaiian Airlines training, but it's
like boot camp,
hard.
right? Like months.
It's 6 weeks. Unpaid.
So you have no tattoos.
No tattoos. I really wanted one though when I was 18. I'm glad I never got it though because you should not be making permanent decisions at 18.
Yeah.
Especially me. So
yeah,
that never happened. In case Hawaiian Airlines is hearing, I want to confirm I do not have tattoos. Thank you.
Not even on the tush.
No.
Do they check every part of your body?
I think I'm
like, did anybody check all of you? Yeah, did they check all of your
body? They pull your pants down. They do a full cavity search.
No way.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, huh?
That would be nuts.
That would be crazy.
I think they did at one point. Like, I think I heard a story that someone had a tattoo that was hidden and then a worker saw it on an off day, ratted them out to the company, and then the trainers had to check for tattoos that were kind of hiding. But I can't confirm that. This is just
lore.
Alleged. Yes. But they didn't check our class. I don't think so. I don't remember.
You can have one that's hidden, right?
I think as long as it's not visible.
Like on your chest, like if you're a man, like covered.
Yeah, I believe so. But I think if you have to wear like a long sleeve to cover your tattoo all the time, I don't think that's allowed, but don't quote me on that. I have no idea.
Quoting.
Yeah.
Quote,
oh my God. Sorry guys. This will be the end of the episode.
I actually have to go. Okay, back to pageant land. Because I was a pageant land beginner.
Of course, Miss Hawaii.
But that makes sense because I was like, I didn't even know that you had ran in a pageant when we met. But I wasn't like hip to pageant stuff. But so you never even went to Miss Hawaii USA. Do you remember who won that year?
That year was... Who was that year? It was Kiana Yamat.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so deserved. I met Kiana. I actually don't know if Kiana, I saw Kiana at the Goodwill show, but I was shy because I admire her. And I also really admire her sister Bria, who she followed me on Instagram and I was really geeking out.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, wow, they want to be friends with me.
Yes. No, I love both of them. They're so incredible.
They're so beautiful. But
and Bria was top 10 at Miss USA.
Yes.
I was there in person.
I want to just say I think she should have gone further. Not to put down the other women who were on that stage, but Bria was sickening.
Sickening, stunning, Slayerella. There was a woman standing next to me who fell to the ground when she wasn't announced as top 5.
Oh.
And I was there in person and it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. And I don't get like about pageants, but just their question and answer.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Like, I don't judge those women. I just think that Bria knocked it out of the park and should have been there.
Yeah. I think she did an amazing job. I met Kiana during one of the like pre-pageant kind of activity things. Miss Universe was in town. I forget her name at the time. She was Mexico, I think. I believe she was Mexico. It was actually Miss Universe 2021. It was her. And we were all kind of hanging out, taking turns meeting her. And Kiana, like, it was me, Kiana, and like a few other girls. And we were talking about like men with gold chains. And I think Kiana mentioned that her boyfriend drives a lifted Yoda and a gold chain. And I was like, oh, so this girl she's real.
Yeah. She's being honest.
This is Miss Hawaii.
This is Miss Hawaii USA.
And she
Thank
won.
you.
I was so excited when she won. Yeah.
Bria and I had a really similar experience because that was her first time, and she had a really rough time at nationals, and same with me. It was just kind of like, you know, something where you're meant to be Miss Hawaii, and then in the big scheme of things, it just didn't really.
I actually want to ask you about what your experience was like as a first-time pageant runner, winner, and you were on such a big stage, literally national stage. How was that for you? Like,
Miss America was crazy. It was really, really surreal. Like to stand on the stage in rehearsals and see the Miss America sign. But the same day, like when we did Miss Hawaii, I remember being in rehearsal in Hawaii Theater, looking at it. It's like this sparkly background of Miss Hawaii. And I'm thinking, what the am I doing here? You know, like how did I get here? It just feels really surreal. And I think I was naive to a lot of things. You just kind of do stuff, you know, you don't realize it till later.
That was me the first when I did Miss Hawaii USA. I mean, Miss Hawaii Island, USA.
You're just like, what am I doing? Yeah, what?
How did I get here?
Even though you prep for all those months and you know what you're doing, it becomes such a personal journey, which I know you know. It doesn't become about winning the crown anymore. I think if you do it right.
Yes.
But so many people do it to win. And I think it's great to have a goal, to want to do your best, but that's one of the spaces that if you're only going to try to get the crown, you're not getting what you could be getting out of it. Because every single woman could leave there a winner in their own way, becoming Miss Hawaii. You know, I love to see groups of women that any one of them could have been Miss Hawaii. It's just a matter of who will be. But that's not always the case, you know? And those women go off to do amazing things. And you're just like, I'm still floored by so many of the women that I competed with. I'm like, you guys are awesome. Like, killer.
It was, I think the pageant was such a good, it was just honestly healing for me as a girl, because I think up until I did the pageant, I wasn't as confident in myself. And that's so cliche. But when you do pageant coaching, you're learning how to literally put yourself on a stage to be judged, right? And a lot of the times it's by appearance. But you honestly just have to, work it. You just have to give them. And the more you give them, the more that like tricks your mind, whether you believe it or not, that you're actually, excuse my language, but you're the shit. Like, and that did that for me. It like changed my brain chemistry. And on top of that, you're learning how to speak. I went to Kamehameha. We had speech classes all the time, but speaking on stage, speaking within a short amount of time, getting your point across, that definitely helped me get hired at Hawaiian. Like 20-second interviews on a group Zoom. Yeah. I loved that the pageant gave that to me. And I would love to do it again one day.
Oh, really?
Maybe, perhaps.
Oh, maybe, perhaps.
I don't know. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We shall stay tuned. That's really cool.
We'll see, yeah.
Was there any, did you have any like bad experiences with people that you ran with?
No, I actually had great experiences with the girls that I ran. I think there was only like 5 of us. But I'm still friends with some of them today. Not that I'm not friends with them. We just, don't really keep in contact.
Right.
But the few that I do, I see them sometimes because Hilo's so small. And yeah, it's really cool that I got that experience because I know it's not the same for everyone. I didn't get far enough into the Miss Hawaii USA preparation or like even the orientations and all of that to really know the other girls that were involved in that pageant. But I'm excited to maybe do that again one day because I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's very exciting.
Don't quote me on that. But
I think you'd make a great Miss Hawaii.
Oh, thank you. I think you made a great Miss Hawaii.
Oh, thank you. I think it's like the hardest part is identity.
Yes.
Everyone sees the other stuff and it is hard. Like you're working on fitness, you're working on the talking, you're working on the walk, and you have all of those down already. But having a secure identity going up and being judged by strangers, I think is the hardest part, that even when it's solid, it's tough. Like I felt like I knew the best version of myself through my whole prep, got there, and then after I won, it was like everything kind of
Yeah,
starts
exactly.
crumbling away.
Honestly, I love that you say that because I went through it like when I was Miss Hawaii Island. And that's an even smaller pageant, you know?
And
That's
you did
not
it only
even,
like 6 months.
yeah. So unfortunately, I had to step down because of the Hawaiian Airlines training. But I loved that I had that crown, I had that opportunity. It was really difficult for me though because I was in a huge transition point in my life when I was running, and I totally underestimated what it takes to, you know, hold a crown
Same.
because you're suddenly thrusted into the public eye, whether you see it or not, or whether you feel it or not, people are watching, and that kind of messed with my brain. And because I was in between jobs, I'd just gotten into a relationship and we were doing long distance, and I was just feeling really stuck in Hilo. I didn't know what I was doing. And then on top of that, I felt like I was letting everyone down as Miss Hawaii Island USA because I had these expectations that I was going to do big things. Like, I'm going to go do community events. Like, I'm going to do this. I want the little kids to look up to me. I want my picture frame to be in my dentist's office, and I want to be able to have my signature on it. That was like the epitome of like being Miss Hawaii. I'm going to have my picture in the dentist's office. But none of that like happened because, well, one, I was like 2021, which was right out of COVID. And yeah, I didn't really expect things to go the way they did. Not that things were bad, but I don't think I was well equipped mentally to take that on at the time that I did. Now, looking back at it, when I did get into Hawaiian, I think it was totally like God's timing for everything.
Yeah, protection.
Yes, because I lost like 15 pounds in that year. Excuse me.
You didn't even have any to lose.
Yeah, I was the weight I was in high school. Sorry.
Yeah. Water, Arella.
We're gonna hydrate really quick.
Me too.
Yeah, I think with all that was going on in my life, me feeling like I was letting people down already let people down. And so if I ever do run again, I want to be sure that I can handle it. Or at least have a good support system too, you know?
And I will say, I think it's all in the support system. I felt like I had such an amazing support, but I also have this thing where I feel like I do everything by myself. It's like one of those childhood things that you just put on because you never know what it's like until you're doing it. That goes for anything. Being a flight attendant, doing a podcast, being like a pageant, whatever. And it's just, you never know until you know.
Yeah.
And I thought that I could handle it, and I absolutely could not. It was a privilege. I love it. I'll hold it so dear to my heart. The hardest year that I'd ever been through was my year as Miss Hawaii, which I don't think I've ever said. And that I even was the caregiver of my mom who died in 4 months, like tragically and painfully. And that was really, really hard, like the hardest thing until I did the Miss Hawaii. And that's for a lot of different reasons, you know, and it's not because of any one person or that it was terrible, because it wasn't. It was great, but people look at you different. It was like night and day that everybody has an idea of who Miss Hawaii is. And whether you know it or not, or they know it or not, you become different. You know, I gained respect from people, but I also got a lot more judgment from others. And then we have an idea of what that means, what it means to be Miss Hawaii Island or a pageant winner, or what this looks like, and the expectations.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
And I've never been so hard on myself.
Yeah. I was told not to even go to the store without makeup on.
Me too.
Yeah.
Don't leave your house without makeup on.
Because people are looking at you and
you represent something.
Yeah.
I switched from gum to mints because you're not supposed to be seen chewing gum. Like,
we can't do that for flight attendants either, technically. But yeah, I guess I could understand, like, there's so much money that goes into the pageant, and there's so much, I don't know, there's a lot riding on the platform.
Totally.
But yeah, that was just nothing I was used to because I'm just a girl, you know?
I'm just a little girl.
Excuse me.
No.
There's that sinus infection again.
I know. She's sick, Arella. How many times can I say it before it's irritating?
I don't know. It hasn't irritated me yet.
Oh, slay.
Yeah.
Arella.
Okay, now it is. No,
Yeah, I was like,
just
okay,
kidding.
shut it. Okay, now we're going to enter a little space I like to call the vulnerability vault.
Oh,
And it's just going to be between you and me.
okay.
And I'm going to rapid fire ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
That are in a vulnerable space, kind of.
I love it. Let's cry.
Let's. You already have the tissues. You're going to have to share.
Oh, I do. Oh, I dropped it.
She's destroying my set.
Yeah. Pardon.
Pardon. Okay, what do you wish people knew about you?
Oh. I think I wish people knew that I'm always second guessing myself. No, actually I don't. Oh, what do I wish people knew about me? I feel like I'm an open book. But I think I wish people knew that I'm okay with criticism. If I hurt you, even people in my past who maybe don't like me anymore, I would love to talk to still, because I never want to be in a place where I'm not a good person. And so I'm okay with people telling me things that maybe I've hurt them in one way or another. Maybe I said something that was out of pocket and it hurt their feelings, or I don't know. I don't know how to like articulate that.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I also agree. Like, I'm really open to feedback.
Yeah.
Because I want to continue to grow as a person.
Yeah.
But then I had to learn how to put boundaries on that, because I've learned that I think in order to be given correction, you need to have relationship also.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and I would just take things from people that didn't know me and I didn't know them. But I would just be like, well, they must know better because they're in this space, or like they know how to do pageants, so I can trust their word. When really I was never meant to be in that space to become like that. I was supposed to be me in that space for a different reason. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but everything in moderation, right?
I guess I wish people knew that gosh, I had a thought and then it went straight out the window. But yeah, I guess in a nutshell.
Okay, next question.
I don't know, nothing behind these eyes. Kanoe's left the building. I have no idea what just happened.
Come back, girl. Come back to
I'm here.
question.
Hi, present.
Okay. This is kind of, you were gonna go there in the first question. What's something you're insecure about that people might not expect?
Oh. I think this is just something rooted in just my inner child, but because I grew up so shy, I'm really insecure about not being cool, I guess, or like not being liked, which sucks. But that's like, I think it's just a very human thing, because I have these like amazing extroverted friends, and while it seems like on the surface I am very extroverted, but in situations where there's someone more extroverted than me and we're in a group, I like shut down and I feel really insecure about it. And I'm working on that. I have this one friend who I just love and admire her so much, and she is just like a ball of sunshine. And everyone around her is just attracted to her, and she's so funny. And I think that's something I'm insecure about, is that I'm not as good as her, or like people don't like me as much as her. And that's not coming from a place of like necessarily like spiteful envy. Right. It's more like admiration, and something I hope I'm coming across to people is that I'm being liked just as much as someone else is being liked. So I'm working on that.
Working about it, praying about it, journaling about it.
Journaling, yes.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from, because I feel the same way about people. Like, I could do all my stuff, right? And people like me for me, for the most part. But then I admire somebody else and they're very different than me, and so many people like them.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, maybe I should have those traits instead.
Yeah.
You know, and then I used to, like, when I was in college, I would try to switch swatch. What's that called? Flip flop.
Switch swatch.
Switch swatch.
Same thing.
Switch swatch. I would try to like change around who I was and pick and choose my identity, because I thought that was more of attractive to friendship. And it's hard.
Yeah.
But then I'm slowly just settling in the idea that God made me the way that I am.
Yeah.
And it's just not for every season or like people, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. Because we're such people pleasers in Hawaii.
I think so.
I think chronically.
I think, whether you know it or not.
Different degrees of it, maybe.
Yeah, and I think because the island is so small, it's someone in the public eye is even more like polarizing, I guess. Take my brother, for example.
You have a brother?
I actually have 3.
No kidding.
Yeah, I have Maikalani,
Maikalani,
Huakaloa, and the adopted one. What's his name? Kamaka.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah. He's actually not even that important.
Yeah, actually, don't even think anyone knows him, but
no, yeah. I've seen him a couple of times.
Yeah, I think, I see him a couple times too.
Yeah.
Like in my lifetime. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, roast Arella. Okay, now it's starting to irritate me. Okay. Trait you wish you didn't have.
Envy. Hate that. I don't know if you know anything about the Enneagram test.
I've heard about it. I don't know, like, if you were to tell me what you were, I wouldn't know what that meant.
Okay, well.
And I don't know what I am.
I would love to do this with you later because I love personality tests. I think it helps me understand people better when I know about these types and I can compartmentalize people and their personalities, whatever. But I'm an Enneagram 4, which is the individualist.
I think that's me too.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me.
So the same.
So
it's also known
we
as
are
the
sisters.
We stand together. Or we speak on the podcast together. Anyway, it's also known as the romantic in a different context. But yeah, it's this, to put it in a nutshell, every Enneagram number, there are 9 numbers, has a deadly sin associated with them, and mine is envy. And it's because as an individualist, I want to be the coolest person, most unique person in the world.
Yes.
Like, I want to not be like every other girl. Like, I'm different. Which is like so embarrassing.
No, but I think that it's so real.
Yeah.
I feel like I identify with that a lot.
Yeah.
But there's another side of, I don't know if you feel this way. Sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
I don't know if you feel this way, but growing up, I felt like I wasn't really like everybody else.
Yeah.
There was like a uniqueness that isolated me for a long season. And now as an adult, it's actually elevated me in different areas.
Yes.
But then now there's sometimes this gray area that I'm like, well, am I still special? Like, is there a uniqueness? Do I have to chase that?
Yes. Wow, we're so alike.
We really are.
Yeah. No,
and your brother said that. He said, you already.
Well, I already knew, like, we've never like hung out like this before.
Never, yeah.
But I would like see your videos, and we did that one Mano'ola job like 2 years ago.
The one time I was a model.
Yeah, well, you were a great model.
Can you say it again in the camera? No.
Sign her, please, dear God. But yeah, I always thought we were similar because I think your sense of humor and the way we, that we're the same.
Well, and you were at Miss Chinatown, or were you at Miss Hawaii?
Yes, that's crazy. I actually want to say that on the podcast for the audience. The first time I met Star, I was talking to Nathan, our friend Nate, and Star was like in the room
Mano'ola
at the
Nate?
time. Yeah, this is Mano'ola. I think we were talking about like Miss Hawaii, and then Nate was like, "Oh, Star is running for Miss Hawaii." And I turned to Star and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I actually went to the Miss Chinatown pageant, and there was this girl who was on stage, and she did a beautiful poem about her mom. And she goes, that was me.
Yeah, I was so blown away. I was like, I felt so seen.
No, because it's funny because my friend was actually running, or she was one of the title holders in that pageant who was, I guess, giving up her title. But she mentioned to us that there was a girl who wrote a spoken word about her mom. And I was like, wow, I didn't know, I've never heard like a spoken word done like at a pageant before. So I was already, my interest was piqued, and then we went to the pageant, and me and my boyfriend were like trying not to cry during your spoken word. And then I ended up meeting you. So that was great. Very serendipitous.
Yeah, for real. I was like, no way.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
My whole family was like, why are you doing poetry? Like, that's not what you do.
Really?
Yeah. They were like,
so good at it.
It just was the only thing that felt right. So it was when you said that to me, I was also like, there'd been people who were calling me saying, okay, now you're running for Miss Hawaii. Like, can you sing? La. Yeah. But I was like, no, this is what I have. And so when I met you, I was feeling kind of the pressure to like make it more performative. I didn't know. But that's all I had.
Yeah.
And so when you said that, I was like, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So you helped in my journey.
Wow. See, I don't believe in coincidences.
No.
It was very intentional. Yeah, you have a gift for sure. The fact that I didn't know you and you were like making me cry.
And you didn't remember who it wasn't my face.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything.
Because I was far away too.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you. But I was like, wow, this girl ate one, but also like moved me. And isn't that like the purpose of, I don't know.
Okay, that's I'm not done with these questions, my vulnerability vault questions, but that's a really good segue to Bridging the Gap, your website.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought was really, there's a bunch of blurbs that you wrote on there because you're a writer.
Oh, thank you.
And you were a writer for Dressember, was it? And you do a lot of writing, and there's a bunch of blurbs on your website that are just really intentional. Your messaging is really intentional for sharing story and being authentic. And I was like, oh my gosh, Kanoe is a little writer.
Oh, this is like nice to hear.
Yeah, and I think that your words touch people. And so I'm kind of like wondering, did you always love writing? Like, what do you really, I don't know. I want to talk about writing because I'm not a writer, but now I've discovered this outlet for myself.
Yeah.
That's been validated through what I've done. But I was kind of curious about your journey as a writer.
That's so crazy because I've never considered myself a writer. I've always like.
Well, it's on your website, writer. No.
I know. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let me go fix that.
No, but
I don't remember. I like to write for sure. I think when I was in it feels so weird like looking back on things now because I feel like I'm a completely different person. Like the Kanoe now, I don't really write that much. And I think it's just because I don't make time for it. But this is actually bringing me back. Like I love to write. And it was a huge passion of mine. I always thought I was going to have a book. In high school, I went through a lot, I think, like personally and just things I was involved with, people I was involved with, really, I didn't think I had that much of an outlet. And so writing was my outlet.
Like journaling, or would you do short stories?
Journal.
Or okay.
I still have it's honestly really embarrassing, but like my notes from when I was like a teenager, just pouring my heart out, like so sad. I was just a sad little girl. And I really wanted to be a journalist. And then I was like, that's too much writing. And well, also I didn't like, I had issues with like the news, I think. Or I think, I don't know. Actually, let's just forget about that.
Do you feel like it was too sterile?
Yeah, I think I wanted to do more like, I don't know. I didn't necessarily want to make like pieces about current events or things like that. Not that's what a journalist does, but my writing, I didn't want it to become a job by any means. It was more of like an outlet and a hobby of mine. So that's why I went into PR. But yeah, I've definitely gotten worse at it over the years. And I'm saying this because I think my job that I do now as a flight attendant isn't necessarily that mentally stimulating, but it's high stress. So I'm like constantly worried about what I'm doing at work, that I'm not like, it's not necessarily helping me grow as a writer. So
Right.
I just haven't like gotten into it. And I've like moved away from kind of doing things like that. And now I just write it in my Instagram captions, pretty much.
But I feel like I'm in a similar season to you where I'm doing things that are challenging and high stress, but they're not stimulating necessarily the writer creativity side. But I would also argue against us both that experience and life experience, job experience, it just fuels the toolbox you have for later.
I think it's because I'm so stable right now.
Mhm.
Like emotionally, I'm in
Like, I
a
need to be having a meltdown.
no, I need to be like sick and heartbroken to be a good writer.
Yeah.
But I'm in a very healthy I'm a very healthy place in my life right now.
Mhm.
And you know, that's honestly like a lot of like musicians, their
Mm.
best music is like when they're sad and heartbroken.
Mhm.
Take Adele, Sam Smith, like they ate with those albums.
8.
Um,
But the question is, would you rather your life suffer for your work or your work suffer for your life?
oh,
You
we're
know?
getting into philosophy
I-
here.
That's
Take notes, folks.
That's what I think about sometimes. Is like, which one would you want to?
Can you repeat that?
I don't know because I just thought of it now. Would you rather your work suffer for the betterment of your life or your life suffer for the betterment of your work?
Right now, it's
yeah.
I would rather my work suffer because it's not.
Well, it's the seasons.
Yeah,
You know, there's not
exactly.
just one way, but I think it's an interesting way to think about life because the creativity is fueled by the deep darkness of the feelings sometimes, even though there's joy, but it's just not as like gut invoking.
Yeah.
Right?
This is really inspiring me to like, I don't know, do a little doodle on my
Yeah, a little
notebook.
doot.
Yeah.
What would you want to write? You said you wanted to always like write a book. Would it be autobiography, a novel?
Definitely not autobiography. I don't think I'm that interesting. My autobiography
Yet.
is me and Mililani rotting on my phone for 12 hours a day on TikTok. That's the end.
Oh my gosh, I need my passport to get to Mililani. That's so far away. Oh my gosh, I need to get it stamped.
That's so true. I like don't leave.
I need TSA pre-check just to get into Mililani.
Pretty clear.
Global entry. Yeah.
That's so real. What was the question?
What you would write?
Oh yeah. I think I would write about honestly like the human experience. I'm very introspective and I think I read people very well and I think it helps make me a more empathetic person. I say that as like humbly as possible. I'm not perfect. I can still be very mean, obviously sometimes.
She was bullying me before this.
Yeah, I know. I actually punched Star in the throat. That's why she's wearing a turtleneck. But we resolved it because I'm so empathetic and I understood your feelings. I'm just kidding. No, but I don't know, something along those lines. I always thought I was gonna write like a book about love and relationships, but I'm only 24 and I haven't seen the rest of life yet. So I don't know. Whatever comes, whatever I feel like moves me spiritually and fulfills me, fills my cup, I guess.
Fill that cup, girl.
Yeah.
So you are in a long-term relationship.
Yes.
With Manu.
Malu.
Okay. Sorry, Malu.
It's okay.
How did you guys meet? Because you were not in the same place.
Yeah, he was living on Oahu. He's actually from Hilo. But he was living on Oahu. He's been on Oahu since like 2014, I think. I don't know. But over the pandemic, I became really close with his brother. And
was his brother trying to be your lover?
Star,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
gonna leave. I'm actually gonna leave right now.
Well, because you're a beautiful woman. I just like a man's getting close to you. I'd be like,
probably not. I would like to believe no, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, copy that.
That would make me sick to my stomach, fam. But anyway,
I realize that's
I
an
will
awkward
love
question
you.
to ask now. Yeah, sorry.
I will love you. You're my brother.
Copy that.
But yeah, there was like a group of us. We were friends. We basically like lived in the same house at Michaela's house. Thanks, Michaela, for letting us stay at the hotel. We did everything together, and Ehu, his brother, would always tell me like, you should date my brother. I was like, that's weird. You're just saying that because he's tall. Like, I hadn't met Malu at this point, so I'm like, he could be a terrible person. I don't know.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Wow.
I'm actually 5'10" and 3/4, but it's just easier to say 5'11".
Never admit it. Yeah, you're 5'11".
Sometimes I'm like 6 feet.
You're widowy 6 feet.
Depending on which shoe I'm wearing.
Period.
But yeah, he's like, you should date my brother. I said, we'll see. But it was always kind of in the back burner of my mind. I wasn't necessarily opposed to being in a relationship at that point. But I actively searching. I've just never been like the dating type. I don't even really have an ex. So he's really actually my first
Lucky you.
serious
No.
relationship. I don't know. It's, I mean, give and take. Like, it's less experience. I mean, I've like had flings before, but never a relationship.
yeah.
So the first time Malu came back to Hilo to visit, it was for his little brother's birthday, and we're at his house outside in the garage, drinking, and everyone's like, "Where's Malu? Where's Malu?" And at that point, I got a little bit overstimulated, so I went into the house to just kind of unwind a bit, and he's in there watching Phantom of the Opera with his mom, and I was like, "Oh, I love this play." And so, like, whereas he could have just been like outside hanging out with everyone, he kind of did his own thing, and I really respected that about him. And he would come to visit like every month, and he would just do things that I saw as very kind, and he would never like seek recognition from it, or he would like fill my best friend's gas tank or pay for whatever and not request any like thanks or appreciation from it. And then in April, we had a birthday party for my best friend, and we all rented this house in Keaukaha. And I think at that point I was interested in him. So we were making like these DIY bracelets. I bought this bracelet kit for the girls to make. It ended up being me and him and then our other friends. And I made a bracelet for him that said Malu Princess, because I thought it was funny. But then I ran out of letters. So he was like, "Oh, we can go to the store. Like, let's just go now."
Just you and him.
And I was like, "Oh, no, like, we don't have cards. It's fine. Like, it's not a big deal." A few days later, we went to the gym together, like all of our friends, and he's like, "I got you something." And he pulls out the exact bracelet kit that I had bought from his bag and he gives it to me because I ran out of letters to make my bracelet. So I thought that was really sweet of him.
Yeah, he wanted to tongue you.
But it shut up.
He wanted to stick his tongue down your throat.
I'm not a whore.
He might have been. No, just kidding, Molly.
I'm just kidding. I honestly like scared me. I was like, "Oh my god, he likes me. That's so embarrassing." Oh my god, he has
Even
a
though
crush
you
on me.
be liking him.
I know. I liked him, but
And
I
when
was
they like
like,
you back, it's scary. You're like,
it's
oh,
scary.
wait.
I'm a cat. That's literally why I've never been in a long-term serious relationship, is because intimacy really freaks me out. I cannot like get close to someone before I start going, "Ugh, I gotta go." Like, I'm scared. But he never put me in a position to be uncomfortable. He was really trying to take it slow, and I think he respected the space that I needed. And I was also running from Miss Hawaii Island at the time, so I wasn't trying to. My priorities were on the pageant. But then like one thing led to another. We just kept talking, and yeah. If your name is Kamalu Ka'a. Just kidding. Wait, can we redact that?
It's just between you and me.
Yeah, between you and me.
And the 10 people that'll watch this.
Yeah.
That are related to you and I.
Oh yeah, period.
Well, me 10 people. Related to you, 500.
I don't know. There's like, you have a lot of TikTok followers.
TikTok. Yeah, you should be posting on TikTok.
I'm scared.
Bro, I was scared too. I was telling you, it took like a mental breakdown for me to be like, F it. I'm just going to post my random thoughts.
I do love watching your TikToks though. It's very refreshing.
Oh my gosh.
I just love to hear you yap.
I am a yapper. I get so many comments of like people being like, "Ugh, what a yapper." I'm like, thank you.
Like, very like odd behavior. You know, people talk about parasocial relationships, right? Like, oh, you don't really know this person. Like, don't be obsessed with this person, whatever. It goes for the same for people who hate. That's like literally a parasocial relationship that you're having. Whereas you could literally, this is so easy. Just do this.
Black Mirror.
Just lock your phone screen.
Yeah.
It's gone. Simply. You don't have to be commenting, oh, this and that. Simply turn your phone off and it's gone.
It took me becoming somebody who people would judge often to realize that judgers are not doers. And it convicted me as a person because I could be really judgmental. Like, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, so true.
But it helps me stay grounded and realize the truth that I don't know what it's like to be you in that moment, in those shoes. with your life experience.
Yeah.
So I can't really judge you.
Yeah.
You know, even like haterade people who are like crazy, they just been around people who normalize that for them.
Yeah.
You know, all you can do is love on them and, you know, obviously have a boundary if they're like coming at you. But
Yeah. I always try to see people for where they are in life. But I think the internet hate is just a different ballgame for me because I'm like, it's not real. It's literally fake.
Yeah.
Like, whereas someone is sharing their life experience, that's real. What's not real is that it's on social media. Like, simply turn it off, block. Like, that's just being like spiteful.
Yeah.
And just honestly weirdo behavior.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people see you only on the internet because you're a model. Do you feel like you get sized up for things that you aren't?
How so? Like, what do you mean?
Okay, wait. I wrote this question and I have it written a lot better than how I said it.
No, it's okay.
Is there a part of yourself that you think gets overlooked because people see you as a model?
Oh.
In like a very perfect way.
I don't know. I don't think, maybe it's just me being oblivious to it, but I don't think people see me as a model first. Do you think that?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, when I was in Waikiki, I hate that side of the pillow. Oh my gosh. I was in Waikiki and I walked 2 blocks and I saw your face 15 times.
What?
And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't escape you.
That's so crazy to me because
I open my phone and there you are again. I go to the airport, there you are again. Magazines.
I don't see that like at all. I think for me it's just like a normal throwaway thing. It's just like a job for me. So it's like hard for me to put myself in someone else's shoes, seeing me as a model. Because to me, I model, but I don't see myself as a model, you know? Does that make sense? So I think I'm just oblivious to all of it, in all honesty. I think people do express to me like they admire me, and I think that's really sweet, and I'm so flattered and thankful for it. But I'm not perfect, and so I don't really want people to, I guess, see me for something until they know me. So then I just turn the rest off as much as I can. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I get it. Like Miss Hawaii was something that I did and it felt like such a deviation of real life that oftentimes I forget like that people know me from that, you know, because it just seemed like a small part of my life. You don't think, oh, why do you know my face?
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Honestly, people don't. But I get what you're saying.
And I think it's different too because I guess in more recent times, like Kamaka, my brother, is more in the public eye. Excuse me. And he's like...
I thought of him as bringing you to tears.
What do you say?
The thought of him is bringing you to tears.
So like, no, it's not, guys. Trust me. It's bringing me to tears because I have to talk about this. No,
Spill the tea right now.
No, I love my brother. Excuse me while I sip from my water. I think because he's actually met famous people and he's like, people watch him do something. Like he's actively like creating a platform and he has followers and all of these things. That's more of a real thing, like I guess fame in one way or another. I don't think that of myself. I think there's a lot of people who don't know me. So I don't see myself as like
I think there's a lot of people that know your face, where they know Kamaka's voice and
That's true.
the podcast, but I don't know, you're very out there.
Oh.
You guys are like the it family.
I think
Hawaiian
we're just
Kardashians
competitive with each other.
Not in a bad way. Yeah. Compete.
No, I don't know. Kamaka just has always done crazy stuff. Like he paid off his student loans in a year, which was nuts. And then I just do things. I just kind of let things happen to me, and it just happens. Like when I did New York Fashion Week for Mauna Ola in 2017, that was really cool, and I got attention from that, which I didn't like try to do. It kind of happened, which I think is really cool, but I don't know. I don't like. I think because I like celebrities, I would never consider myself like a public figure.
Right. No, same.
I feel like until you have like a little K or M in your Instagram, as stupid as that sounds,
What do you mean K?
like a 10K.
The check mark. Oh.
Or like a
K or M, she
yeah.
said. Yeah. No,
one
I
of
get that.
those. Or even a check mark, like not even like a meta one that you're paying for.
Yeah.
I will never pay for that because, not that I'm judging anyone who's doing that, because I think it's important for business. I think it's very credible.
Yeah.
But I want to earn it, you know? I want, like, if I'm going to be sort of internet famous, I want it to be fair and square.
Fair and square, Kamaka.
Yeah.
We know you pay for yours.
He actually...
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't think he does.
No, it was actually crazy when he got the blue check mark. He was like, I just tried, and then I got it.
Slay.
It might have been after the Bretman Rock episode, honestly. I don't know when. Yeah.
What a guy.
He's okay.
Oh, okay. This question, I'm really curious about
Okay.
what you think. Because you've been doing modeling a lot. Well, and also, did you know that you have your own page on Manaola's website?
My own page?
Yeah, it's literally Kanoelehua Robinson, and it has your entire bio and your
What?
headshot. Yeah, and because I looked up your name to like research for
What?
this interview, and it has your website and like your LinkedIn, all this stuff, and then it says Manaola, and I click on it,
Oh, that's crazy.
and it's just you, your face, and your bio, like new up and coming model, and it's a younger photo of you. So I think it was 2017
okay.
when you guys went. But I tried to look for other model bios, and they're not there.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe if I Googled other people's names, it would come up. But no, it's literally just you,
Oh, crazy.
and you can't even navigate to it.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
don't even know.
yeah, you're
Maybe it was
iconic.
for Fashion Week, but
Oh, it's still up there.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
So your exposure to fashion, especially in Hawaii, I'm really curious. Like, what do you think that is what's missing from Hawaiian fashion industry, or like something that we could elevate, something that the industry can do to be better?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
Because you have so many years of experience now.
Oh, it's hard because as much experience that I have as a model, I've only really ever modeled in Hawaii, you know? So whereas I have experience, I don't necessarily have a large perspective. But I've always been,
But even just Hawaii.
yeah, that's true. I've always been like a fan of fashion, obviously. And like I try to keep it as much as I can. And I understand how the industry works. But I think what is missing is just like bravery and boldness to kind of push outside the boundaries of what you see in Hawaii. And I love our Hawaiian designers. I think they're all so talented and creative. Someone I really admire right now is Rocket Elhuna, because one, he is just incredible. He's so talented. And I love that he takes things that are very near and dear to a Native Hawaiian's heart, and he makes it fashion, like he's making it onto like an elevated kind of level. And Manaola does that very well as well. I think I really like that he's kind of appealing more to this younger, I guess, Gen Z audience of Native Hawaiians, but also making it diverse enough to appeal to people not from Hawaii. Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing too about the fashion industry in Hawaii, is that I think it's tailored towards people in Hawaii, which is special because, I mean, Native Hawaiians for Native Hawaiians. But fashion, I think, doesn't need to be constrained by the bounds of race and ethnicity. It's art,
Yeah.
And I think he does that so well. He takes something that's familiar to him and makes it art and fashion. Yeah.
Do you think that in order to be successful as a designer here, it needs to in some way reflect like Hawaii print? Because all of our really popular Hawaiian designers like in some way reflect this like tribal, authentic Hawaiian vibe, whether it's floral, whether it's really tribal and geometric. Like, do you think it has to have those components in order to be successful? Or do you think someone could just be doing fashion and be successful here?
I think it could be successful. I just think no one has really done it. But you see, like, some brands, like Salvage Public, kind
Yeah.
of does. They take elements of Native Hawaiian culture and implement it, of course. But I think they're more so like modernized. And I think like even Sig Zane, as much as they stick to their Hawaiian prints, they have their offshoot brands or collaborations that are not necessarily identifiable as like Native Hawaiian, but it still has that heart of Native Hawaiian fashion, which I love. So I don't think it's that you necessarily have to have these things to be successful. I think that those things just do very well in Hawaii. I think we just don't see enough of people not doing that in Hawaii, or people aren't necessarily doing that much of it. If they are, I'm just unaware.
Yeah.
And I would love to know who is doing it.
Right. No,
I'm
I think
kinda
a
just-
lot about
yeah.
this like innovation idea.
Yeah.
Like in order to really push the boundaries, like you have to have a lot of out there ideas and brands. And I just wonder if there's space for that, or if we are in a climate where that would be palatable to people,
I think we could be. I don't really know. I just speak for myself. I'm honestly a little bit out of tune with the audience here in Hawaii because I'm not necessarily on social media engaging with conversations about Hawaii. So I think I'm a little bit oblivious to what's going on. I'm just here living life.
No, but you are living life and you're in a lot of environments where this conversation is taking place. And I'll go even further to say not being from Oahu, being from Hilo, speaking Hawaiian, because you're fluent,
Yeah.
Olelo Hawaii. So
Mahalo. Ai.
Ai.
Yes, mele kalikimaka.
Yes. I think that gives you agency. I think that's something really cool that your brother has done, is given him agency in a space because he can olelo. Do you feel like that's given you space in life, or like agency?
In what context?
I don't know. I'll just share that I've always felt not Hawaiian enough.
Oh,
ever,
I see what you mean.
But a lot of that is taken away, like if you can speak Hawaiian. So I'm wondering, like, do you ever feel insecure in that identity? But also I think it gives you a strong voice to be able to say, well, I speak Hawaiian and this is my perspective.
I think it for sure gives anyone agency because there are so many conversations about who's Hawaiian. Obviously, the conversation now is you are Hawaiian enough, period. Like, that's one and done. And I honestly don't like the idea that it gives me agency because I feel like that's even more so fueling the idea that you need to speak Hawaiian to feel secure being Hawaiian. So I think like just me, I've always seen myself as I'm fair skinned than most. And I went to Hawaiian immersion school, but I have an English last name. My last name is Robinson. And so there's a lot of things that I felt like insecure about in being Hawaiian because I went to a Hawaiian immersion school and I went to school with like the Kanoelehua family and they're all very like rooted. And as much as I was rooted, I didn't grow up making lei, or I didn't grow up fishing. I didn't do things that were inherently Hawaiian. I really engaged in American media and like entertainment. So I wasn't always thinking about what is something I can do to be more Hawaiian. Or my parents weren't necessarily drilling us on, oh, you need to go work in the mala, be in the this and that.
Right.
Which I think is healthy because they just let us be who we were. As long as at the end of the day you can trace your roots back and you don't lose sight of what it is to be a Native Hawaiian. But I don't think that you need to do X, Y, and Z to qualify, be good enough to be Hawaiian. I'm honestly just sick of the conversation altogether because I think we just put so much pressure. I think just fueling these conversations gives people more pressure to be more Hawaiian or less Hawaiian, whatever it means. The way I see it, as long as you know your mo'oku auhau, that's it. That's just one and done. because that's how they did it back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think I need to tell you I can speak Hawaiian to be able to prove that to you that I'm Hawaiian, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to use that as a trump card because I feel like that in turn makes other Hawaiians maybe insecure. Like, I don't speak Hawaiian. I didn't grow up in Hawaii, this and that. Stop putting pressure on it. If you Hawaiian, you Hawaiian. Po.
Paul.
Mhm.
And I really like that, some people would say that you or Kamaka or your family would have responsibility to be a voice because you can speak Hawaiian. But I like that the both of your rhetoric is similar, where it's like, yeah, and like you're Hawaiian, okay, you're from here, okay. And what? What are you actually contributing to the world?
Mhm.
Are you a good person?
Yeah.
Like what kind of stuff do you do? Like there's more to life. And
Mhm.
I don't want to get canceled, but a part of me thinks, are we so ceremonial about the idea of what it means to be Hawaiian that we don't innovate on the idea of it?
Mm.
Do you know? And I think it touches different industries
Mhm.
because I work in film and that's my dream to
Mhm.
produce film. And I think about why don't we have a lot of film that's mainstream in Hawaiian? Like why doesn't PBS put stuff out that is like Olelo Hawaii or things
Mhm.
like that? And like I got to work on a show last year that was supposed to all be in Hawaiian, and then the networks were like, you can only have 2 episodes. And we're seeing this emergence of what it could look like in film and the work I do with ICANN. And so I'm just curious because I think the most innovation we've seen has been in fashion.
Mhm.
And so it's almost like this breeding ground of where can we push the limit
Oh, I
and what's
love that.
allowed. And it started so many conversations, right?
Yeah.
About, well, what are we allowed to do? And so I just think it's very interesting as someone who may not have like a foot in the door or like a really secure voice to be able to speak on things like as a Hawaiian.
No, that's so I love that you have that perspective of working in film and seeing how we can push the boundaries of having our language in film and just making it normal, you know? I think that's the biggest thing about Hawaiian language and the culture is that it's just not visible
Yeah.
to the naked eye of a normal Westerner. In Polynesia, it's in Asia even, they know kind of an idea of Hawaii and Hawaiians, but only me and you, and the people who live in Hawaii, not even everyone in Hawaii, know that there's a beautiful culture and language. And I've seen it because I really love film too. I'm not in the industry as you are, but I've seen how progressively we've been seeing like Tagalog being used in film and TV a lot more, which I think is amazing because back when I was growing up, all the Filipinos in film were classified as Mexican or Hispanic. It wasn't even there was no it was like an erasure of
Yeah.
Filipinos in film. And now we're embracing a lot more of these different races and cultures, so like why not us? But to circle back on what you were saying with that, I guess the me and my brother kind of being so what about it. It's not necessarily that I'm like that just because I'm like that. I think when I was younger and when I was going to a predominantly white university, I was fighting for my life. I would be in class just like ranting, crying, just kind of making it a spectacle of I don't know. I don't want to say a spectacle because I think my feelings were valid at the time. I was really frustrated that no one knew about Hawaiian language. No one knew about our history, but everyone loved to go to luau. Everyone loved to see the Hawaiian performances. They loved to come to our Pacific Islander meetings to eat our food, but did nothing to contribute to, I guess, learning about it. So that was really frustrating. But I think as time went on, I realized that that wasn't a healthy place for me to be in. And I felt like it was justified at the time because I was doing something for my race. Like, I'm passionate about this. I'm furthering the Native Hawaiians because I'm a voice. But at the end of the day, it wasn't making me happy. It was making me miserable. And it was making me a miserable person. I was always fighting with people. I was really mean. I was really not accepting and judgmental. And that's not the type of person I want to be at the end of the day. I want to be someone who's kind and empathetic and loving, and I couldn't do that the way I was projecting onto others. So I took a step back from that. Doesn't mean that I'm not passionate or don't care about our issues. It's just I view it differently, and I walk in it differently. And my boyfriend honestly has inspired me so much because he's 90% Hawaiian. Not that blood quantum matters either, because that's a whole other conversation we don't have to get into.
That's so rare.
It is really rare. And he's this Hawaiian, lived on homestead. His family, like, they're so sure of themselves, and they're not insecure about being Hawaiian because they just know they're Hawaiian. And so when I saw the way that he was living his life, like, no one can tell me nothing because literally I'm Hawaiian. I'm like, yeah, period. I should do that too. Like, why am I so concerned about being Hawaiian when the real Hawaiians, this is like a perfect example. Like, we don't need to put all this pressure on it. We can just live our best happy lives and live in our truth, and I don't know, just be Hawaiian. You don't have to do anything. Oh, just saying that, I already know, like, not everyone's gonna agree with me, but I think we just need to stop. Not that we should stop. I think we should give ourselves more grace to just be Hawaiian. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. But I also, to back you up, I think there are different priorities we have in different seasons. You know, you were in a space where that was your priority to advocate for your people. And then it became a season where you wanted to aloha yourself. And as a Jesus person, I know you're a Jesus person too. Like, we're called to love people, love God, love people, love ourselves. And in a way, like, to aloha people. But can you aloha people if you don't aloha yourself first? And when certain situations start becoming toxic for you, even though you're doing the right thing, is it good anymore? You know, it's all in moderation. So, you know, people will get crazy and take snippets. But the truth is, you're trying to prioritize how to love other people well. If you're not loving yourself, then maybe that's not the season for you, because there's a bunch of people who can advocate and do those hard things. And sometimes we need to take space from certain things.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for saying that. I think there are so many powerful and valuable Native Hawaiian voices right now in the media. But I also think that there's a lot of polarization with the opinions and the, I guess, rhetorics that are being passed around, where I think people are becoming hateful towards one another. And I think when everything is taking place online, there's less space to have a real conversation. And I guess less ability to have critical thinking be involved. Because it's okay to not agree with another Hawaiian's opinions. I think that's very fair. I don't think we're human beings at the end of the day. I'm not going to agree with everything someone else to say. They're not going to agree with everything I say. And I think we just need to have more room for that. And less, I think everyone just needs to be a little bit less online. In all truth.
And a little bit more real.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the name of this podcast, Between You and Me, because the goal really is break barriers, build connection. And I think that is the way that we tear down the division, is to have more conversations like this and then make this on a big scale with other people, you know? So that's the mission, and I love that.
Yeah. But I mean, I see it especially with my brother, you know. I come from a place of context where I know him, and I know that he's a good person. He's always, of all my siblings, Kamaka's always been the one on my side. And he's always been a very, like, amazing role model, and he's always been a great older brother. He's inspired me and my little brother a lot, like, to even leave the island and to go travel and experience the world, and I guess just be a good person in general. And so when I see, like, opinions of him online, it really is hard for me, because it's like hard for me to not just, like, go and comment back on other people, what they're saying, because I know what he's saying because I come from a place of context. And so I guess, like, even though we have conversations like this, people are always gonna take what they want online, and oh well.
The answer is get offline. Right?
Yeah, let's go touch some grass, you guys.
I know, touch the grass.
Let's go touch the mala.
But I love how he's like, oh yeah, people are going to say, but they don't know me.
Yeah, he lets it just roll off his back. Me, I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, Kamaka, everyone hates you. Everyone hates you, so everyone hates me. And then I like, oh my gosh, I spiral.
Oh my gosh, there were some clips that when I was on his podcast, they got a lot of attention. And he was like, don't even worry. But I was like, oh my gosh, everybody hates me. Everyone thinks that I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And you have this like crazy dialogue in your head. But he was like, they don't know you.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it. Because
I know.
I take it personally.
Yeah.
I want to be liked.
Yeah.
It's like, period. Like, I'm not going to lie about it. It hurts my feelings. I don't want people to dislike me.
One of my biggest pet peeves is people judging me before they know me.
Yeah.
It's like since I was a kid. Because I would hate to just be sized up for the way that I looked, before I was taller, or like things that I said. And so this is just an exacerbation of that. And so it's hard. I get it.
Yeah. But the thing about me, and I think you are like this as well, is like, or Kamaka's like this too. When he gets all his hate, he's still very willing to have a conversation. Like he'll never turn around and hate you.
Right.
And so that's like really inspiring to me too, because you can say what you want online, but I'll meet up with you and we can talk through it. I'm not afraid of like confrontation in that sense. And if there's something I said to like actually, come across as hurtful, that's something I'm like willing to fix. But at the end of the day, if it's anything but that, then I guess, just whatever.
Yeah, I think we've lost accountability in relationship. It's not as much of a given. People get mad and they get angry and the emotion comes across. But do we love people enough that we want them to be better? Or we want them to know that this hurt us and do it so out of love, not out of spite to say you did this to me, but rather you didn't love me well in that moment and I love you enough to not want to leave you like that. I think that's super Christ-like and I am trying to get there,
Same.
But our time has come. I have prepared a special little game for us to play. Never done. Never done on Between You and Me in the 2 podcasts we've done. And shall we begin?
We shall.
Let me explain the rules. The game is called Truth or Tea, and it may look like a game you've seen on other shows, but the idea is that there is tea in cups. I've prepared some disgusting tea concoctions, and both Kanoe and I have come up with questions for one another, and we are both going to choose a question, and before we read it, we're going to choose which tea we want to sip, and we either get to answer the question or drink the tea.
Guys, pray for me now. I could
scared.
very well be going to the hospital after this.
No, actually might vomit. Okay, so I was like just going to do this to Kanoe, and I thought, well, it's the first time, like maybe we'll do it together. And so I asked her to write questions for me, and Jordan read both of them, and he said we are kind of on different pages, and I'm nervous.
I want to know what yours are.
You're going to find out, girl. Okay, so we're going to just get prepped, and we're going to get going. And we're back.
Between
you and me with a segment called Truth or Tea.
Back to you, Star.
That's very news of you. How news now?
Yeah, actually.
Oh.
I'll have you go first.
Okay, does that mean I pick a number?
No, I'll pick a number.
Okay, so I have only 6 questions.
Okay.
I know you have 7. So one of them won't get answered because we have 5 things. And just for context, they all have some kind of like tea in them that I found in the fridge. One has egg whites and like Worcestershire. One has like spicy. Oh God, smelling it makes me already want to gag.
I'm scared.
There's like Worcestershire. There's raw egg. There's bouillon. There's hot sauce.
What the hell is a bouillon?
It's like a seasoning.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell is a bouillon?
What the hell?
Okay.
There's Maggi sauce, which is like similar to bouillon, I guess. There's shoyu, mirin.
Oh, okay. I can drink that. Maybe.
Oh, there's Vegemite. There's one that has bouillon and Vegemite.
I've actually never had that before.
Neither have I, and I heard it's gross.
Me too.
I'm actually... And then I foamed up one of them with the egg, so that's like
God
puffy.
bless. God
Okay,
bless.
so I'm picking one, and you're going to pick one.
Okay, I'll pick one.
Okay, choose a number 1 through 6.
Let's go 2. My stomach just
I know. Oh my gosh.
dropped.
Can you bring a trash can, Jordan? Because I'm going to vomit.
I'm stressed. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah, 1 through 6. You choose a number.
2.
Oh, I didn't hear you say 2. Okay. Okay, I like this one. In Hawaii, who's someone you never want to work with again, and why?
Oh my gosh. I can answer that because there's actually no one that I haven't had bad experiences, but I will say in February or January of this year, I had the worst experience I've ever had in my almost 10 years of modeling, working for this hotel. I've normally worked for them, and it was every time it's been such a pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been so much fun. But this year they couldn't work with their normal photographer and videographer. So they had to outsource basically. So this team from Turkey, I think, came, and they were so mean. Every day I cried. It was a 3 or 4 day shoot.
What? They were like degrading to you?
Yes, like they would pull me to the side during a shoot and be like, okay, see what she's doing? That's what you have to do. Like, what are you doing? They would yelling at me on the shoot. What are you looking at? Why are you looking over there? Just really condescending.
Oh my gosh.
Getting in my head, kind of making me feel like I'm not doing anything right. And it was like a really, really toxic 3 days. And it was so bad that the GM of the hotel wrote me a certificate. And I come to find out like last week, they got fired, like from the resort chain.
Yeah,
So,
good.
honestly, yeah, that was actually a terrible experience I had. Long story short. But I've actually never worked with anyone terrible in Hawaii. I think I've been really lucky because I normally work with the same clients.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
we
about
have
like
really
other
good-
models? And there it is. There it is.
Other models?
Because since your answer is like no, I'm kind of like, okay, then
trying to fish.
yeah.
Then
Then who would you never want to work around?
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Oh, well, you were talking about one earlier.
Stop.
Okay, I'll give you that one. You answered it pretty good.
Well, the thing is, it takes a lot for me to dislike someone.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't, there's only like one person that I don't like, and they're not involved in this industry anyway. So
Copy. Okay, I'll let you have it. Now the smells are wafting to me.
I know I can.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Well, I'm like plugged up. So
You're lucky.
yeah.
Okay, I'll go now.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. You escaped round 1.
Yay.
I choose number 3.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, is that the one that you were saying is really? Oh no.
Is everyone listening? Star Doll Thurston. Name and rate your exes.
Oh my gosh. Name and rate.
From worst to best.
Okay, I'm considering it.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, and we were supposed to choose the one we were gonna drink.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
It's okay. We'll just choose
when
it
we
after.
cross that bridge. It smells like dog food.
No, you know what? I cannot because they're people. They're people, and I don't count. I'm talking about like people from here.
Mhm.
You know, like the college one. Who cares about them? But
Drink. Pick your poison,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna go with this
Oh
one.
my god. What is it?
I
I'm
honestly
winning.
don't know. I didn't write down what they were. Frick. No, I can't. I've only recorded 1 podcast so far. 1.5. I can't just like come out here and be like, "Nyam, nyam, nyam."
This is what happened.
How much do I have to take a sip?
Just a sip. I think that's enough torture. It's one sip. Bottoms up. That wasn't even enough.
I think this is the Vegemite.
Really? Okay, you know what? I don't want you to gag and throw up, so.
Are you going to make me drink more?
That what you barely.
It was like a sit. It was a sit. I'll prove it. Okay. Wait, this. Okay.
Oh my god! Oh no. Okay, you're done. Good job. Wow, champ.
Oh my god. That was bad.
I'm proud of you.
I never had Vegemite before, but it didn't taste like meat in. So I think that's okay. That's not. Oh, I'm gonna vomit after.
Oh,
No,
do you want some of this?
No, I want some of this.
Okay. What a good combo.
Yeah, right? My mystery cup.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready. I want the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire song over this. Dun 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 dun.
I don't know that song.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know. Jordan, can you put some songs over this? Okay, you choose a number.
I choose number 5.
Okay, worst lie you've ever told.
I'm not really a liar. Like, I know.
Dang it, mines are not good.
Okay, wait. Worst lie. Let me think of one. Worst lie I've ever told. I'm like honestly so embarrassed of myself that I wouldn't like. It's hard for me to lie because I just assume people are gonna find out. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll say this. I very minimally Facetune some of my photos, and that's probably the worst lie. Oh, I don't even like. I don't want people to think that I'm changing how I look. But
Well, they see what you look like now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how you look on the internet.
I do use it a little bit. I don't try to change my face a lot. It's just like minor fixes.
Because not every angle is like you want to use the photo, but the angle did something bad to the this or that.
Or my makeup just wasn't giving that day. So yeah, I guess Facetune. I will say I have another lie, and I will just.
I want you to drink the freaking thing because my stomach is gurgling already.
Well, you can ask all your questions if you want. There's this picture I have on my Instagram of me and my boyfriend.
Cute.
It's extremely photoshopped.
But you guys are so small.
There were no fireworks in the background. There was no. All of this was like houses and people. I faked that. So I got a lot of compliments on this photo because it's like, wow, how did you get this shot? It's fake. I know how to use Photoshop. And period.
Okay, can you teach me?
Perhaps.
You know, this one time in middle school, I put my knuckles like this on a computer screen of like at the beach and been like, love Fiji. People were like, you were just in school. And we're in middle school. It's like early age Instagram.
So
people don't
funny.
like get it. It's like grainy. You can see the lines of the computer. I wasn't in Fiji.
Oh, I guess I will say like when I was in middle school and Ask FM was a thing, I'd be asking myself questions on Ask FM anonymously. I'm like, oh, no one's asking me things. Maybe I'll make myself more interesting.
You'd be like, oh my gosh, people secretly like Kanoe. Like,
but then when I started doing that, people started asking me more questions. So honestly, like
that's like when you're bussing, like singing songs on the street, like we do as musicians. You put a couple dollars in there first to for people to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, life hack.
Life hack.
Okay.
Okay. Feel like I'm going to vomit.
Okay.
Okay. I choose number 1.
What did you hate the most about being Miss Hawaii?
What did I hate the most? That's a really good question. Because there were aspects for me that were really hard. What did I hate the most? I think actually, okay, yeah, this is fine because it's not anyone in particular, but the ridicule that I would get. You know, I said earlier that everybody has an idea of what Miss Hawaii is supposed to be and also who she's supposed to represent because you have a legacy of women and an organization to uphold and to contribute to in your own way. And everybody had an idea of what I was supposed to be, who I was supposed to look like. Like, I know. And the org, I think they would delete comments from Instagram, you know, so I wouldn't see, and I wouldn't hear until later. I like saw someone recently who was like, oh my gosh, people would talk so much crap about you and talk so much about your weight and like how big you would get. And I was like, you know, I never really saw those, but I heard enough that I knew it was happening. And there was a lot of people who thought I shouldn't have been Miss Hawaii.
Wow.
So there's that. I think learning what people really think about you in a time where I feel so proud of what I put on. That was hard.
That sucks.
And it's honestly made me more judgmental of myself now because not only am I so hard on myself, but I actually, when people affirm me, I don't believe them either because people would say something to my face and be talking something different later and I'd find out.
I'm so sorry that happened. I can't even imagine, like, me, I've always thought, like, you're gonna win. Like, I just love you. And I loved you when I saw you on Miss Chinatown stage. Wait, did I? Yeah, Miss Chinatown. Yeah, and I think that's honestly like, wow, the pageant world.
Pageant land is scary.
Really scary.
Yeah.
The way that it's about, oh my God, the world just hates women.
Yeah.
Like,
and so many people, like, everyone's in it to like raise up women. And at the same time, those same people are not.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like you're good, you're bad, you're good, you're bad. It's just a really toxic place where amazing growth happens. You know, it's not one thing or the other, but it's just it's a tightrope of a year and a tightrope of an experience, which is why I think it's so important to have the people around you because they ground you and they create the environment. If you have enough good people around you, they shut down the voices that are wrong and not helpful. But I gave so much volume to people's opinion that I shouldn't have because I didn't really have a team.
Yeah.
Because it's just my family. Like I had no coach. I didn't know what was up from down. And I think I trusted too many people.
That the same exact thing happened in my experience where I think too many people were in my ear telling me even about other contestants, like this girl's running against you, like kind of pitting me against another woman, which gave me a lot of anxiety and also made me, like, even though they were trying to tell me, like, oh, you're better than this girl, it made me more insecure because I'm like, well, now I see this girl as competition. Whereas, like, that was never what I wanted to do in this pageant. Obviously, it is a competition at the end of the day, but I didn't come into it thinking I'm gonna beat this girl.
Right.
This is my competition. I need to beat her. That was like,
and a lot of people go into it thinking that.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. That makes me kind of sad because there's so much you can get out of it, and just friends you can make. Like I love women. I think if anyone, like, I'm so passionate about the fact that women deserve so much support and literally just like living and just being a woman because women hate women, men hate women, like they, them, everyone is just like so judgmental and so critical of what a woman does. Like, why am I going to be the first one to do that to another woman when I know the experience of what it's like to have that happen to me? And I'm not perfect. I like have been in positions where I've put other women down and I'm not proud of it, but that's something I'm still learning because I know now that that's not pono. But I'm just more aware of it now. Like I don't want to be a girl that puts other girls down, period.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, thanks.
Choose a number.
I would choose wait.
You chose 2 and 5.
I'll go with 1.
Okay. It might be controversial or it might be really easy.
Okay.
I don't know. What's something you would change about your boyfriend that he doesn't know you don't like?
That he doesn't know?
Something that you're like,
I'm gonna drink. I'm only okay. The thing is, me and my boyfriend are very honest with each other, but I don't want the world to know.
Right.
what happens, what our conversations are like. So
No, don't give a preface. Just keep it mysterious and drink your nasty drink. Okay, what's it smell like?
This is like, this might be the shoyu meat one.
Oh, this is not shoyu and meat in it. Shoyu and bouillon, I think.
Oh, I also smell I think you put the guava tea in here, the guava ginger
Yeah,
one.
there's all tea. Yeah, guava. Something.
Okay, bottoms up.
Oh, I heard her swallow.
That wasn't bad. I could literally drink. I could drink it.
No, okay, you can't. Yeah, drink all of it. Yeah, go. Yeah, yeah. Actually, since you said it, since you said it into a mic on my podcast, drink it all.
I think it's just shoyu and guava tea.
Okay.
Okay, the second.
Okay, I'm losing at this game. Dang it. Okay. Okay, what do I have? I choose 1 and 3. I choose 5.
What is the craziest thing you've done not sober?
Oh my gosh, craziest thing I've done.
You just tell us.
I know. Okay, one time I was not sober to the point that I thought I could walk from Moani's in Waikiki to my house in like Kaimuki, Kapahulu, like by Diamond Head Theater. And I was like, my phone had died, my friends had left. And I was just like, okay, I can walk home.
That is actually
And I made
crazy.
it like down the street and I was like, oh, I can't make it. And so I like went into like a hotel and was like, can you call me a cab?
Oh my god!
And they did. And I had cash and I gave the cab and it was great.
Good.
But I was unwell.
That is actually crazy because one, that's extremely unsafe.
Yeah, it was actually so bad.
That's actually insane.
It was so bad. And I don't ever really drink like that. Like that was like a college star, but like I don't get crazy. But I had just landed from a trip. I had not eaten. It was like one of those, you know, when you don't eat, like everything just goes, because I didn't really drink that much. I mean, I guess I did, but I didn't eat anything. And I just traveled.
It just makes it worse.
It was a bad combination. And it was vodka. I don't drink vodka.
Oh, I only drink vodka.
Oh, see, I only drink tequila. So it just like different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a past. But yeah, that was.
I'm crazy.
But I'm safe. God protected me.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And no one saw me. It was late enough.
Really scary.
No, yeah, it could have been
not
way
been
worse.
here.
I know.
It's scary out in these streets.
No, for real, for real. Anyway, thank you, Jesus.
I can taste like the aftertaste of that.
Yeah, as it sits in your stomach, it's gross.
Like,
yeah.
Why did I go back for that?
I know, because you said you got a big mouth. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your digestive tract where your mouth is.
God bless.
My digestive tract's about to be where my mouth is.
Yeah.
As I vomit it up.
Yep.
Okay, new question. You chose 2, 5, and 1. 1, 2, 5.
You have to. Oh wait. Oh yeah.
I just went.
Oh yeah. I'll go with 4.
Okay. Ooh, this one's good. At least I think. What's something the public doesn't know about Hawaiian Air that would get them canceled?
Oh my god, I cannot answer that.
But can you confirm that you know something?
Something.
Like, give us the little edge taste of it.
I don't even know. I just know like I can't say anything on behalf of Hawaiian. I could get in trouble, but I don't. What is something? Oh, I know something, but I'll tell you later because it's like a personal. If my flight attendant friends are listening, this thing has happened to me twice, and if you know, you know. But we'll discuss this later. For now, we'll drink.
Drinkarella.
Why is this one bubbly?
Oh, that's the egg one. You grabbed it. You touched it. Oh, there's 2 bubbly ones?
Yeah, but I think this is the egg white one. This one's like kind of foamy. Look at it. Oh, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
For my palu bag.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what is that smell? This might be the Vegemite one.
No, the Vegemite is dark. Okay, I need to keep that there.
Maybe this is a shoyu one. stop taking pictures of me. He's in the corner. Oh my God. That was
hidden in the dark.
who?
Ooh, I want to vomit looking at your face.
You chaser.
Oh, what did it taste like?
I don't know what bouillon is. I barely know what Worcestershire is. That was poison.
Okay.
It tasted like how I imagine dog food tastes like.
Ooh.
That it's still there. Oh my God.
Okay. What do I have left?
You did.
Or what's left to choose from?
You have 2, 4, 6, and 7.
7.
Tell me about your worst crash out.
What's a crash out?
Like meltdown.
Oh.
I asked this question because I have one.
Crash out.
That's actually like, oh, that was a crash out.
I mean, it was definitely during my Miss Hawaii year. And there was people that everything felt like it came crashing down at the same time. Okay, I had gone to Miss America. I'd had a kind of amazing experience with the women, but I had a really terrible experience with like my identity. I thought that I had prepped a certain way, but then I found out like I really hadn't, and people knew that. And I just felt like I didn't have enough support from people, no one really in particular, and not in like a drama Lani's way, but I just kind of felt othered and alone. And it had, coming back from that, driven a big wedge in the relationship I was in at the time. And that relationship ended. I had spent all the money I had on my whole Miss Hawaii year. So then I needed to get a job. And I just felt like I had done a terrible job as Miss Hawaii. And so I'm sitting in this meeting that was supposed to be really serious, and I just start bawling my eyes out, and I'm yelling and I'm bawling, and I'm like, and you didn't, blah, blah, blah. And I'm crying. And then the day before, I had gotten this like mysterious text from somebody that was like, you're an effing blah, blah, bitch, and all this like crazy stuff, this long thing from somebody who had my personal number. So like I know that I know them, but they had blocked the number.
What?
And it was like personal details that people don't know about me. And I was like, so then I was paranoid on top of it, that I don't trust people what they say. I didn't trust like my relationship anymore. Like that had ended because things had happened, and it just like broke a lot of trust. And now somebody that knew me and had my phone number was
like
saying harassing. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't care about this anymore. Like you guys can all, I don't care about you. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Like I obviously needed to like fix my life, and I had a crash out. But besides that one meeting, I think the crash out lasted like a month and a half. Oh. I was just in a really, really awful place coming out of that season. But as soon as it turned, and that was actually why I started posting on TikTok. I had not posted on Instagram or like on social media authentically because I was so afraid of not being perfect as Miss Hawaii. And then I was like, oh, like,
it's Paul.
Like, I'm done.
Yep.
Like, y'all are about to get star. You're about to get me.
I will say I loved the stuff you were posting when you were still Miss Hawaii. It was so refreshing. I love seeing a girl just be silly.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, obviously I love the graceful girls, but it's like, you're real, and I could relate to you,
Thanks.
So,
I felt so out of pocket. I was just like, when I was posting stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would never have done that before. But I'm like, but that's who I am.
Yeah.
So my crash out segued into my crash in.
Oh, period.
Period.
You have to hit rock bottom to go up.
And truly it was rock bottom. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Okay, what do I have left?
You have 3 or 6.
Let's do 3.
Who is the most overhyped model in Hawaii? And you can't say yourself.
Well, I can't answer that. Oh my god.
Do you have one in mind?
Trying to think. I honestly think it's myself, but you say I can't answer that. Most overhyped.
No, in like a real
mom.
honest way, like someone who you're like, you shouldn't be doing all this. Like whether they don't deserve to because they don't have aloha, or you think that they're not as like hardworking as they could be. The reasoning can differ. But someone you're like,
I probably have someone in mind, but I'm gonna drink. Gosh.
think of that person and cheers to them in your mind.
Oh my god, this is a tuna one.
Oh, okay. This is tea and tuna juice, canned tuna juice.
I'm terrified. I'm really scared. I'm like really scared.
Get your bag. If you're gonna if you vomit, I'll vomit.
Please. Maybe I'll just answer it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And it's the person you thought about somebody when you looked in that camera.
Well, I think there's like a few. Most overhyped? Okay, let me just
few.
put this down so I can think. I think I want to drink that. Gosh, tuna juice? That is diabolical.
You know whose idea that was? Stanton. Sunoka.
Stanton, if you're listening to this right now, expect something in your file. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Stanton. That's very creative. Congrats on being so creative. Oh, I'm scared. Okay. Most overhyped model in Hawaii.
Who just like shouldn't be there.
I'm gonna have to drink it.
I know.
Gosh, okay. Kailua kolu. Stanton, why would you do this to me? After all we've been through nothing.
Have you guys flown together yet?
No, but I think you guys had him on a flight. To Japan.
Yeah, because
It was Fukuoka. Fukuoka?
I don't know where, but that's when he was like, oh my gosh, how is she so happy when...
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
For context.
No, he mixed her up with somebody who had just had a big loss and in her life, and Kanoe was like, la la la. He's like, how is she doing it? Wasn't her. Wasn't
sweet.
This one.
That's cute that he sees me as a happy person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that happened. That was the worst thing I ever put in my mouth, I think. Anyway.
Can we get a list of top 3 things that were the worst thing you ever put in your mouth?
Oh, camera. No.
Camera. Okay.
I'm a good Christian woman.
I know. I'm a good Christian woman.
I would never do any of that. I can't do it anymore. I have braces now.
You have braces? Oh, on the inside. Who was telling me that you have inside braces?
Probably me on my Instagram.
Yep.
I love it though. They're straightening out so much.
Incredible. I had full it's not fair. I had full braces in the front, like.
Well, I have adult braces, so it's different.
Are they?
Huh?
Are they different?
Yeah, I mean, it does the same thing. It's just hiding. Thank you to Dr. Stephen Tutori. Changed my life. Shout out, Dr. Tutori.
Shout out to you.
Okay, what else do I have to?
No, it's my turn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell me the numbers I can choose. 6,
2, 4, 6.
Okay, 4.
Show me the most embarrassing video of you on your phone. Actually, can I change that?
Yeah.
Let me show the camera the most embarrassing video of you on your phone. Jordan told me to go on your phone and scroll, but...
I know. I think if you went and chose it, and then you showed me, and then I would choose to drink, or you can show it.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's hard because I don't know what's there.
I'll scroll.
Okay. Here, I'll go to videos.
I would simply drink if this were me. I just really be doing.
Well, I don't do weird stuff on my phone. Let me look.
I don't do anything creepy, but I do just have videos of me like picking at my braces. Probably, I don't know.
See, I'm trying to think. Like, do I have like
Anything incriminating?
I know. Honestly, it's just all of my
TikToks.
yeah, it's like the TikToks that I save. You know what? I honestly don't really have embarrassing ones.
Should I choose a different? We have extra questions.
Yeah. Choose a new one because that one, it's like
Okay.
yeah.
2 or 6.
Okay, 6.
Tell us the handle of your Finsta and show us the 10th post.
Oh, you know what? I don't even actually. I had it in middle school. I don't have a Finsta anymore, but it used to be Book of Star, like Book of Mormon.
Oh, cute.
And the 10th post. Oh, actually, I'll just tell you one that I think is crazy. Well, it's not incriminating to me. It's incriminating to somebody else.
Oh. So drink.
I know, right? I wonder if I can still log into it.
I don't use the Finsta anymore, but it's there, and just like photo evidence of all of my crash outs.
All of your
from
crash
high
outs.
school. Honestly, my whole life has been one big crash out. Not anymore though, or not yet. Perhaps soon.
Yeah, see, I don't even know. No, I don't even. Oh, it doesn't. That handle doesn't even belong to me anymore.
Darn.
I know. Okay, shucks. But I will tell you a story for my Finsta. Can that count?
Okay.
Like one of my first posts on it was I had this like my first boyfriend in college. We had broken up and he'd always kind of like was all about me, right? And then I found out that he'd been on Molly like every interaction we had ever had.
What?
And I had this thing where I'm like, if you want to do drugs, like that's fine. Like I just don't want to be with you.
Mhm.
You know, like go do your thing.
Yeah.
And I was like abstinent. I had this like thing. I don't want to do that. And he was like, after that ended, he's like, you know what? Every time I told you I loved you, like I was on Molly and I thought that coming to college would be like shooting fish in a barrel and you're such this like high maca. I don't remember what he said, but like the white person version of like, you're so high mocks and self-righteous and you think that you're Jesus and all like went off. And 2 seconds before that, he was begging for a second chance. Okay. Begging. And then I was like, no. And he went, and you know what? Actually, this is what I think. And I was like,
wow.
if you really think that, why were you trying to be with? It was just really.
Men.
I know.
That's scary.
I know.
Men really do be scary.
And it seemed like had a mental, a roller coaster. Yeah, he had a crash out later on. So blessings to him.
Oh,
love to him. Yeah.
Love?
Like love to him in like a aloha to you, sir. Yeah.
Aloha ahui ho.
Yes. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Friendly
Well,
Skies.
goodness gracious. Sorry that happened.
Thanks.
Do I have?
You have one more. 6, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we doing all 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because kind of we'll do all of that.
Yeah, might as well. So we didn't drink everything.
I know. Ooh, but you drank more.
Well, yeah. So. I drank the worst one, the tuna one. So.
Yeah. No. Okay. Who's someone you pretend to like that you can't stand at all? That you like interact with?
Oh. My brother. Just kidding. Someone I pretend to like. Gosh, I can't answer that. You're really like setting me up for failure.
Failure.
Goodness. Someone I
know.
I'm like trying to think. I know I'm going to drink it, but I'm trying to think of like.
I know.
Someone.
Well, I have one. We were talking about somebody. Yeah.
I don't really engage with people I don't like.
But there's people that you have to. Like you're out and about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I can't answer that. But
do you have someone in mind?
Yeah.
You know the rules. Cheers to them.
And it's just a difference of personalities.
Yeah.
My personality just don't go well with yours. So cheers to you. I think this is a Worcestershire one. Oh, no, this is a vinegar one.
Oh, the meat-in. Yeah, but I don't remember what I mixed it with.
That is just straight vinegar. Why is it spicy? Why is it spicy?
So I put hot sauce in it too.
Oh. No, actually, that's not bad.
You faked me
actually,
out.
I'm matured.
I've matured. I have taste buds.
That's
a high palate.
This was like second. Like that one wasn't that bad.
Okay, yeah, the first one you were like into it.
The tuna one was
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's disgusting. I think that's the one that has the floating stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have one more? Or are we done? Or do we do that?
You have one more. Show me the worst photo of you on your phone right now.
Worst.
The thing is, I ask these questions in mind of myself because I have all of these things. Like, I have a worst photo on my phone. So I'm like, oh, she has that one too.
I definitely have bad photos. The worst, like, ugliest, worst, like
embarrassing, I guess.
Let me look. We'll do it. We'll cut this time. I'm going to look.
I'll show you mine.
Yeah, show me yours. Worst
It's
photo.
funny because it was like a night at Moani's and I was really drunk. This is not promoting alcohol. Let's just start there.
Okay,
oh my god, I showed it.
Okay, we'll just like bleep it out.
Oh yeah, we'll blur it. There, can you see it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that doesn't even look like
I
you.
was so swollen. I wanted to like document how swollen my face was because I'm very allergic to alcohol.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, look at how red and swollen my face. Gosh, I keep showing it.
Yeah, that does not look like you at all.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, let me go to where my crash out was. There was definitely bad ones. Let's see. Okay, this is not the worst, but this is definitely this one's so bad.
Oh my
but I
God.
make this face a lot.
Let me see it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you look so cute. It doesn't look like you. What is that from?
February 9th.
You look
Prime
so
crash out.
adorable.
That's my
That doesn't even look like you.
I was like 15 pounds heavier.
Oh my gosh. I just want to hug her.
She needed a hug.
Oh, stop.
Needed one. Where was it? I think this was in where was this? Oh, this was in Hawaii.
I have many crying photos.
See, I don't take photos when I'm crying because I'm busy.
I do it
Crying.
as a way to kind of like lessen, like ease a blow. Like, oh, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Even though I thought my life was over.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
I think that this is a time to play us out in song because we actually prepared a song.
Oh.
Because like I said, Kanoe is an artist.
3-time Grammy nominated.
Yes, but even though she jokes, she's actually a great singer and she's coming out with a single that I'm featured on
Yes.
that we were singing right before we started recording.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me go get your guitar that you brought.
Oh, okay.
That's your guitar.
Yes.
One moment. Jordan, this is your job.
Wait, what am I playing?
The song that you were singing before.
Kiss Me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a real song.
Yeah.
Oh, my song.
Right. And you're gonna, no, it can be your original song that I know too, and I'll sing along.
Okay. Oh my
Because
gosh.
this is Kanoelehua Robinson, and this was Between You and Me.
And this song is called Hug Me. Hug me beneath the milky twilight. Between you and me, podcast with stars all thirsting. Thank you for watching. Interlude. Mahalo for watching. Subscribe for more. And follow me on Spotify and SoundCloud. Kanoelehua Robinson. This song was called Hug Me. Between You and Me
Live
podcast.
for the first time ever on the Between You and Me podcast.
Yeah, I'll see you guys at the Grammys next year.
And that's what you have to look forward to on this podcast is exclusive interview and live performances by world-renowned artists. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for giving me this platform to share my artistry.
It was really iconic. I feel really honored that you came here.
I actually feel really, really great that I came here and drank tuna juice.
The tuna juice was actually really good.
Stanton. Okay, love you so much.
Love you so much.
Thank you. I'm taking this home.
Yeah, have her.
Oh, this is on my...
Yeah, and give the camera one, like, my name is blank, and between you and me, blank.
Oh, that's a good one.
We'll put it in, like, the little trailer.
I got it.
Okay, to the camera. Don't forget your name at the front.
Is this mic on? My name is Kanoelehua Robinson, and between you and me, just give 'em.